To move over the bolster, you first need to remove the block from behind the head. Setting the block off to the side, we do use it as a prop later in class, so just leave it someplace where you can hold on to it. Resting the arms to the sides, bend as you exhale the knees and set the feet to the ground. Always move on an exhalation. Pushing against the feet, swimming the arms simultaneously, moving little by little with each breath and each movement. Move just an inch or two so that you find a new point on the spinal column that you're addressing. And then rest the arms to the sides, tuck under tailbone to lengthen the lumbar spine, and then let the legs go long. It should be a new awareness, a new place in the spine that you're addressing. Allowing the shoulders to descend, the head should be able to rest on the floor. If it's not comfortable and you've got compression in the neck, set a blanket underneath the head, but never have, again, the head higher than the surface of the bolster. In this position, lower than the middle thoracic, you should have the head to the floor if it's possible. Relaxing all the legs, breathe nice and deep, and just relax. Try to visualize the breath as it comes in through the nose. Follow it as it passes down through the throat into the two lungs evenly, and try to expand your breath right into the place where the bolster is bending the spine backwards. In this second position, reach for the block, it should be nearby, and then reach up into the sky with the two arms. Take the block on its small side, press the palms, not the fingers, stretch the fingers up, push into the palms, and then rotate the bicep muscles towards the face. Push then the energy of the arms up into the sky, and then take the block overhead. Try to stretch out of the shoulders, lengthening that thoracic area, the middle spine, all the way up into the shoulders, and do not bend the elbows. Go only as far as you're not experiencing pain. If there's pain, you're going too far. Hold it with the intensity that is available and possible, only as far as you're not suffering in pain. You want to stretch it and not injure. If you can, though, the thumb should touch the floor. As the palms press into the block, the biceps continue to rotate downwards towards the face, stretching and lengthening through the arms. Don't let the arms bend, but lengthen from the inner elbow to the wrist and make the arms to feel as if you can feel the skin stretching as well as muscle and bone. Hold this and breathe into the upper body as much as possible. Can you breathe into the armpits? Relax the face and throat and completely surrender in the pelvis, the thighs, the shins, the knees, and the feet. On an exhalation, after 30 seconds at least, if not a minute, reach the arms to come upright. And then one hand can grasp the block, bringing the block safely to the ground. Set it off to the side and come back to the resting position. Move now over the bolster by doing the exact action we did a moment ago, by putting the feet to the ground, swimming the arms back and lengthening to the middle spine. A couple of times should bring the vertebra to actually move over the bolster. Be clear that your bolster isn't sliding along your yoga mat, because you might not actually move anywhere if the bolster is rolling. You want to make sure that you're actually moving the spine over the bolster. Then rest here and just breathe. Again, a soft, deep breath in, slow, nice and smooth, with conscious awareness, directed into the place where the bolster is bending the back, and visualize perhaps that you can send your breath laterally outwards towards the sides. Resist the movement of the belly, but try to breathe into the side ribs. As always, relax the face and throat, and the pelvis is soft, and the knees are relaxed. Resting here as best you can, breathing into the middle to lower spine, relaxing completely in the pelvis and the shoulders. If this becomes too challenging, you need to be careful on how you move out of it or how you ease off the pain. The first step would be to bend at the knees and put the feet to the floor. Give some gentle pressure to the feet and lift up the pelvis, and this will most likely release the issue and allow you to breathe into the spine and relax a little bit here. If this is not enough, first you want to set the pelvis down to see if you can relax and let the legs go long. and see if this is better. It should be better. But if it's still not better, bend at the knees, shift the pelvis to one side, and roll over the bolster to the side and put a palm to the ground and then the elbow to the floor and lift upright. Never sit bolt upright out of the bolster position. Come back down onto the bolster. Find the position that you were in just a moment ago. Starting a little high and then moving your way down. Never come right back into the low back from an upright seated position. Always adjust it down as Yadina did. Breathe into this place. Anything that takes the arms overhead, you can fold them at the elbows or just simply stretch the arms overhead. Anything that takes the arms overhead will deepen the awareness that you're experiencing in the spine. So if it's already intense, don't do this. But if you're looking for more, reach overhead and breathe. Nice, long, deep breaths in and out. Spending a minute or so here, come out of the position and rest the arms to the sides and move over the bolster by bending at the knees, putting pressure to the feet, swimming the shoulders to lengthen the spine. You move the muscle and skin as you swim the arms. You move the bone as you push into the feet. Coming to the lowest part of the back here, not quite yet the lumbar spine, rest the pelvis down and let the legs go long. This could be a very challenging place for people who do a lot of sitting. This is a very healthy action for the spine, but it can be quite challenging. If it is too challenging, you need to place a blanket under the pelvis or make the bolster smaller. Resting here for at least a minute or so, you move on by bending at the knees. When you're ready, you move deeper, lower on the spine. Swimming the shoulders back in the same fashion. Moving to the lowest point of the spine, just before the pelvis, rest the pelvis down and let the legs go long. There should be a gentle pull in the spine, and again, it should be challenging but not painful. I like to refer to the challenge as information or informative. It should be informative, not painful. If you can describe the pain as white, burning hot, red, those are bad pains. Information is good, pain is bad. On the exhalation, come out of this position after a minute or so and bend at the knees, put pressure to the feet, and physically move the bolster or swim over. One or the other, you can do one or the other or both. Swimming over, move the bolster to the sacrum, the very center of the pelvis. So that's the middle of the pelvic bone. No spine should be attached to the bolster anymore. It should be all a pelvic raise. Letting the legs relax. Relax the belly, the chest, turning shoulder blades under. Rest and breathe. Focus now your breath to be directed into the area of the pelvic bowl. Breathing deep into the pelvis, can you feel the breath moving into the joint of the sacrum and the pelvis, the femur bones into the pelvis, the lining of the pelvic bowl itself? Visualizing the breath as it passes in through the nose. Follow it as it travels down the throat, through the two lungs, along the interior spinal column, and deep into the pelvic area. On an exhalation, when you have finished a minute or so or more, this is a very safe pose. You can be here for a long time if you'd like. But bring the knees in safely, hugging them in. If this action causes any pain whatsoever, don't do it. This should be comfortable, challenging, informative perhaps, but not painful. Hug the knees in. This is the most extreme version of a child's pose you can do. Again, this should not be painful. If you'd like, the legs can go wider apart. Thighs can come sharp into the sides of the thighs. Thighs to the side of the body. Then bring the knees back together. Feet together, set the feet to the ground. Put pressure to the feet, lift the pelvis, and physically move the bolster out from beneath you. Come down to neutral spine. And rest.